When Johnny Depp admitted in a quiet, vulnerable moment, "I'm scared of loving someone again," it hit like a wave. Those words were not part of a script, not the lines of a character he was playing, but an honest confession. It was one of those rare times when someone who seems larger than life steps down from the stage and reminds us that, underneath all the fame and mystery, he is just as human as the rest of us. And maybe that is why his words struck such a deep chord. Because haven't we all, at some point, felt that very same fear? The fear of love after heartbreak, the hesitation to open up after being wounded, the heavy pause before daring to let someone in again. Think about the last time your heart was broken. Maybe it was years ago, maybe it was recent, but the memory doesn't vanish easily. You remember the way your chest ached, the way nights felt too long, the way trust suddenly became fragile. And then, even after time began to heal, a shadow lingered. That little voice inside saying, "Be careful. Don't let this happen again." That is the voice Johnny was giving life to when he admitted his fear. What makes his words even more powerful is the life he has lived. Johnny's relationships haven't been private whispers. They've been played out on magazine covers, splashed across TV screens, and dissected by people who have never met him. Imagine for a second going through the hardest breakup of your life, and instead of just a few friends knowing, the entire world has an opinion. Instead of healing in peace, you heal under a spotlight, every scar pointed out, every flaw exaggerated. Wouldn't that make you hesitate to risk it again? Wouldn't that make the idea of love terrifying, no matter how much you still wanted it? Yet beyond the celebrity glare, what he feels is what countless people feel every day. The fear isn't about love itself. Love is still something we crave. The fear comes from the memory of pain. It's like fire. You remember the warmth, but you also remember the burn. Even when you see another flame, gentle and inviting, your body flinches. It's instinct. Your heart does the same thing. After it's been burned, it remembers. It becomes cautious. It becomes afraid. And here's the thing, that fear isn't a sign of weakness. If anything, it's proof that love mattered to you once. You don't fear losing what means nothing. You only fear losing something precious. So when Johnny says he's scared, what he's really saying is that love has left its mark on him. It shaped him. It mattered so much that the thought of feeling that loss again still makes him pause. If you've ever been in that place, you know the tug-of-war it creates. On one side, there's the desire for connection, the hope that maybe this time will be different. On the other, there's the memory of how much it hurt when it wasn't. You find yourself caught between wanting love and fearing it. And it can feel paralyzing. The world often tells us to move on, as if it's that easy. But healing doesn't happen overnight. Just like a broken bone, the heart needs time. You wouldn't sprint on a fractured leg. You'd rest, you'd care for it, you'd let it strengthen again. The same is true with heartbreak. You need patience with yourself. You need space to grieve, space to rebuild trust in your own judgment, space to remember who you are outside of someone else. But how do you begin that process when fear feels stronger than hope? Sometimes the answer isn't found in rushing into romance. Sometimes it's found in other forms of love. Spending time with friends who remind you of your worth. Reconnecting with family who give unconditional support. Pouring yourself into passions and hobbies that make you feel alive again. These smaller, safer connections remind the heart that not every bond brings pain. They prove that love can exist without heartbreak. Another path, one many people overlook, is giving love without expecting it in return. Acts of kindness, caring for a pet, volunteering, helping others. These little moments open your heart gently. They remind you that giving love can feel good without the same risks attached to romance. It's like exercising a muscle again after an injury. You don't jump straight into running marathons. You take small steps, build strength, test your limits, and slowly, you grow confident again. That's why Johnny's honesty is so important. By admitting his fear, he isn't closing the door on love. He's simply saying, I'm human. I've been hurt. And it still scares me. And maybe that's the lesson here. It's okay to admit you're scared. In fact, saying it out loud is often the first step toward moving forward. Think about the times in your life when fear held you back. Maybe it wasn't love, maybe it was trying again after failure, or chasing a dream after disappointment. Fear is often a signal. It tells us that what we want is important, worth protecting, worth guarding. But fear doesn't have to mean stop. Sometimes it simply means pause. Breathe. Heal. Prepare. And then, when the time is right, try again with the wisdom you've gained. Johnny's story reminds us that scars don't mean the end of love. They mean experience. They mean you know the risks, but you also know the rewards. And sometimes, love after heartbreak is even stronger, because it's built on a deeper understanding of what truly matters. So what do we do with fear like this? We face it gently. We let it teach us patience. We allow it to guide us toward making healthier choices, while remembering that hiding forever won't protect us from loneliness. Because in the end, the heart isn't meant to be locked away. It's meant to feel, to connect, to risk. Maybe that's why Johnny's words resonate so deeply. Because they're not just his words. They're ours. Every person who has loved and lost, every person who has stood at the edge of possibility and wondered if it's worth the risk, we all know that feeling. And hearing it from someone like him makes us realize we're not alone. So ask yourself, have you ever been afraid to love again? What held you back? Was it the memory of betrayal, the fear of rejection, the thought of repeating old mistakes? And if you did take that step forward again, what gave you the courage? Was it time? Was it support? Or was it simply the quiet realization that you deserved another chance at happiness? Whatever it was, your story matters. Because someone else out there is stuck in that same fear right now. And hearing how you faced it might give them the strength to face it too. At the end of the day, fear of love isn't a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you're alive. It means you care. It means love has touched you, changed you, left a mark that still matters. And maybe that's the real beauty of it. Because fear and love often walk hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Johnny Depp's words remind us of a simple truth: love is scary, love is messy, love is beautiful, and despite everything, it's worth it.